The big thing is going into the big house, but I definitely expect a win here, and I'm kind of shocked we're actually 1.5 point underdogs.
I was going to say, yeah, we're underdogs in this game.
I'm shocked by that. So I think we win by 2 scores in this game.
Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes, to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, along with the dog, G-Money and G-Mac. I am the Podfather, coming to you from the Foxx Den. Hot outside once again, just like last week, but it's about to get even hotter with the takes that we have tonight. So we're going to go over the OU schedule this evening. The first game going to be on a Friday night, September 4th. They moved it to Friday night, and to be quite honest with you, I'm pretty pumped about it. At first, I was kind of ticked, but then from when it sounds like it was going to be an early kickoff anyway. And then you're going to be hot, just burning up. And it's still going to be hot at kickoff. However, around September 4th, when the sun hits and goes down, which, to be honest with you, this season where we're sitting, the sun will go down quicker. So it'll be awesome. So they play UTEP the first game of the season. Are you worried at all?
Not in the slightest.
Nope.
Not in the slightest.
A game like this, you do not want to get anybody injured. That's the whole thing. Come out of that game, have your first stringers crisp, not injured, and playing some good football. Was it the first series last year where our center went down? Wasn't that the first series, if I'm not mistaken, last season?
I don't know about the center, but it was somebody. It was a receiver, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I know we lost our center that game too, the very first game. And it was just like, really? And that just tailspinned into offensive line issues all season long. But I'm going to knock that in as a win. I don't know about you guys. Assuming you are.
Same here.
1-0. I think
1-0.
The 41.5.
The next week on Saturday the 12th at Michigan. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. We defeated Michigan last year. We didn't destroy them or anything. We won. I felt pretty confident towards the second half, but we won that game, and we're going into the big house, over 100,000 Michigan fans going nuts. That'll be a test. How big of a test do you think that's going to be? Because it's a new coaching staff in Michigan. Whittingham coming over from Utah.
I think it'll be a test. I think, like you mentioned, that was before John Mateer got injured and was playing some of his best football, and we still didn't necessarily dominate offensively. Defensively, yeah, we dominated them. But like you said, also, new coaching staff. I think that's a better coaching staff than last year by a mile, so that's something to keep in mind. But at the same time, they still don't have a lot of weapons whatsoever offensively. Their quarterback shouldn't bother anything on our defense. I think their defense is going to be good, not quite as good as last year. The big thing is obviously going into the big house, but we definitely expect a win here. And I'm kind of shocked we're only 1.5 point under. We're actually 1.5 point underdogs.
I was going to say, yeah, we're underdogs in this game.
I'm shocked by that. So I think we win by 2 scores in this game.
I agree with everything Gary said, but I do think we already lose one by week 2. I think we start off 1-1.
With all the coaching drama and all that stuff, I think they've kind of lost some of that edge. The best edge they'll have is home field advantage, but I think we'll go in there healthy, pumped, and we'll handle it pretty well.
Here's the way I look at a game like this. I would rather play them now with this coaching staff being brand new versus 3 or 4 years from now, because Whittingham's always had teams that are just tough, physical football teams, and not having to do that a few years from now. I'm just excited that it is for sure going to be that game. And Bainch shows up. Bainch was on here earlier, but he has had some connectivity issues, but he's back. Clay, we are actually talking about OU's 2026 schedule, and the first game being moved to Friday night against UTEP. And This may shock you, but we all said that we figured an Oklahoma victory in that first game. I'm assuming you would say the same.
That's good to hear.
And then we were just talking about Michigan, new coaching staff in Michigan. This is going to be a test from OU because they're going to go to a stadium this is a big stadium. It's still a big-name team. They may be a little bit down versus where they have been in the past. However, I was just saying that I think it's better to play them now versus play them a few years from now because I think Whittingham, I think he will, but his track record says he'll do a good job there. But then again, once you get to one of these big schools like that, there's no guarantees. What are your thoughts on the Michigan game?
I think it's a must-win if we want to make the playoffs because I don't think Michigan is probably a playoff caliber team, so you can't lose to teams like that.
Right.
So I don't care if it's away or what, so I think that's huge for that. I know that neither Michigan nor OU wanted to play it
Right.
after all the changes have happened in the last few years, and so, but Fox wouldn't let them out of their contract. They knew
Also,
how it could have hurt their seasons with a loss.
kind of like you mentioned, I'm playing them now. I'd rather play them now, week 2 in the season, because
Sure.
I agree.
Sure.
Head to head, we pretty much win every single matchup in the sense of positional, and I would even say coaching. But the big difference is obviously the home field advantage. But let's get this high caliber team, similar to last year, out of the way, get the nerves out for the season, especially in that environment. Get a big win under our belt, and then you not a week off necessarily the week after, but then you start the SEC play. The SEC play is not going to be anything new for the caliber of blue blood of team. Like you mentioned, they're not what they were in that 4-year stint with under Harbaugh, because that's about all it really was. But
What game did we play them last year? Do you remember what number of game that was?
2,
It was our second game of the season.
yeah.
Because they came off a win, and Bryce Underwood was only in. That was his first big game in a big time environment. Pretty quick into his career. He's had a few since then. And I know last year I wasn't as impressed, but he has highly recruited. So I think you'll see something different this year. Go ahead, Garrett.
Well, I don't disagree. He's highly recruited, but people are saying there's a decent chance 3-4 games into the year he's not even starting anymore. He's that bad.
Really? I haven't heard that.
Specifically, I should say I think it's like Eric Weddle, the former NFL safety, was at a practice with theirs because his son goes there, I think, or was visiting them, and he said that guy has no right being a Division I quarterback.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very
good to know.
interesting. He's just an athlete. That's the only reason he's gotten this far so far. It hasn't been anything with his arm.
And on a different note, Big Ten's won the last 3 national titles. However, SEC's looked at as the best conference in football, college football, that is. Do you agree? Because I know there's been some arguments with the top tier versus Big Ten versus the top tier SEC, but then when you stack it up on the bottom levels, it looks like the SEC may be better, but I don't know the answer. I don't know what your thoughts are, your guys' thoughts are.
Yeah, you could say, I would say it's pretty neck and neck, because I agree with the statement that they're very top heavy, the Big Ten, but the SEC, week in, week out, most of the time, whoever you're playing could put up a challenge, and that's not the case in the Big Ten. And the whole championship thing, you could say that, but I think the one you would look at the most, and they still beat us the last couple of years, but is the bowl matchup, which the Big Ten did beat us up pretty hard there, but that's again because they're top heavy, and so each conference only getting half the conference in a bowl game, then that's just how it's going to go.
Well, the Big Ten's got Ohio State, they've got Oregon, and then they've got Indiana who are running things right now. Then after that, you're looking, and I'm just throwing teams out there, I'm not ranking them. Penn State, Michigan, USC. Is there anybody I'm missing after those top 6 that might be in there? Versus where you've got Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU, Alabama. I guess it's whichever one you root for. It's who you're thinking who's better. Let's move on to the September 19th game against New Mexico. It's a classic look ahead. Is this a trap game before the SEC gauntlet begins?
We'll be fine. Probably 3 scores.
Aren't you glad that this is before the SEC versus instead of UTEP, New Mexico, Michigan, then the SEC, it's UTEP, Michigan, then we got a New Mexico game in between there.
Yeah, it allows us if you need to sit a guy, it's probably not going to be the end of the world. So if they get banged up against Michigan or something, then yeah, it allows you to get them squared away for another week before SEC physicality starts.
So going back, I think everybody said they thought OU would beat Michigan, correct?
Minus Gannon.
Danny, you thought Michigan was going to win?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Impressive. Well, interesting. Okay. Then the next week, September 26th, the Oklahoma Sooners travel to Georgia. Game time to be announced at a later date. In Georgia, tough atmosphere, tough team. I think that's where OU gets their first loss. I don't know about you guys.
I also think that will be a loss.
Probably. I'm going to say it's a loss, but I could see us pulling it off, but I'm going to predict a loss.
I could see us pulling it off, and it's similar to last year against Alabama. To be honest, I did not expect us to win that game before the season nor during the season, for that matter. But we pulled it out. But Georgia is just a different animal, and I know they haven't, won in a few years now, or even that might have made much of a run, even. But they're a force to be reckoned with in that environment. I agree. I think that's our first loss, so that puts us at 3-1 for me.
Clay, what do you think?
Just Georgia's going to win, but I don't know much about their team. Haven't really looked at it that much.
Well, then we got a week off in between the OU Texas game, Red River Rivalry. Why is this year's Red River Rivalry decide? Why will it decide the SEC champion? Any thoughts? Or will it?
I think it won't. I don't think either team makes it either way. I think you'll see teams with cupcake schedules make it.
I don't think this game will have anything to do with the championship either, but I think it's going to be the typical bloodbath. If both teams are actually healthy, we'll actually have a quarterback that can play this year, unlike the last few seasons, it seems. So I think it's going to be a great game. I think we'll lose, probably, just because it's Texas, but we'll see.
I think we win.
Good.
Solely for the fact that, one, I'll never pick Texas to beat us, but also I think we've had enough of it. Honestly, I think we've had enough hearing about the not scoring a touchdown in 700 days or whatever it'll even be by then, but I think we'll be pretty fed up, and I think John Mateers, this is going to be the first time he's going to feel, hopefully comfortable, confident, and healthy going into this game, and I think Brent Venables' defense has never struggled against Texas. They genuinely never have. It's the fact that the offense can't move the ball, can't keep on the field, and can't put any points on the board. So our defense is going to do plenty fine. Arch is nothing to worry about. The receiving core that they paid $8 million to get is nothing to be worried about. So I think we'll be fine. It'll be a close one, but we'll end up winning.
I just think Arch is going to have a leap. I don't think he's going to still be what everybody thought he was going to be, but I think compared to last season, he's going to look a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he'll look better, but I just don't think there are very few quarterbacks who have ever necessarily found success against Venables' defenses. I just don't think he's one of those guys. And they did get a couple running backs. They spent another $4 million in their running back group, but they're tiny. So,
and I don't think it'll be him beating us. I think it'll just be he'll help beat us. But yeah, our offense is actually going to put some points on the board this year. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know. It'll look better than it has previously.
Jan, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Gary. I'm maybe just a little bit also too stubborn to give in to them or say that they were going to win. But I think that's going to be our most impressive, probably most difficult win of the year.
Gotcha. Clay?
I think the loser's probably out of the SEC championship, so yes, does it have anything to do with it? Probably, yeah. But I think the loser's probably going to be out because both of them will probably pick up another loss somewhere else. And so that means the loser will have 2 losses in the SEC.
Yeah, it's for me to say on August 11th that I think OU is going to win or lose this big game. I don't know. If I had to say so right now, I would say Texas would probably win, but I have the right, and we all have the right to change our opinion to the right before the game starts, to be honest with you, just because of the fact that anything could happen, things change, we could be on a roll. I don't know. Can we run the football this year? If we can run the football this year, that adds an extra dimension to our team because we have not been able to run the ball at all the last year or so. But that's my biggest concern right there. I could tell you that I think OU is going to win. I just don't know. I don't know at this point.
So are you saying
As of right now, if I had to pick, I'd say they'd lose.
Oklahoma loses?
Yes, and the thing is after the first 5 games, I would if you could tell me today, guarantee that OU after the first 5 games is 4-1, I'd probably take it today.
Of course.
Heck yeah, you take it.
I mean,
Yeah, it's just not what we're doing.
No,
Two of
I know.
our top 3 hardest games, I think, in my opinion, are in those first 5. So of course we take 4-1.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I want to be 5-0, but at the same time, if somebody told me you can be 4-1, I'd take it. I think it's a better shot or a better chance we go 3-2 as of August 11th, 2026. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think it's a way better chance to go 3-2 than it is 2-3. That's just me. What are your all's thoughts?
I have him at
4-1.
3-2s.
Do you think? Okay.
I think am I the only one that got 4-1? Clay, where are you
I
at?
think so.
So 3-2.
I'm also at 3-2.
October 17th, we play Kentucky. This is a new coaching staff coming into Norman. Mark Stoops is no longer with Kentucky. He's actually an analyst at Texas, which is very interesting. But he never coached at OU. His brothers did, but that's completely fine. Kentucky. Could it be a hangover, emotional hangover against Texas, and this game be a little bit tougher than we think, or are you expecting OU just to handle business?
I think we take care of business.
This is a game you got to watch for. I think if we win against Texas, we lose this game. I think if we lose, we win it. So that being said, I think we lose this game against Kentucky because, like you mentioned, big hangover. We always drop one of those games every year. We always do. That we have no case losing. Now, Kentucky's going to be good. This is probably the worst time to actually play them because they got a new head coach. They have one of the best transfer portals in the entire country. They got a lot of freshmen coming in that can make something happen. So this is going to be a fight for sure. So I again, since I said we'd beat Texas, I think we end up losing against Kentucky.
I think we'll win. I think it'll be ugly because based on my prediction, we lose the previous 2 games. So it's a must-win. It's almost like every game's a playoff game, it feels like, from here on out. So I think it'll be ugly because we have to try so hard, but I think we'll pull it off in the end. But I do kind of agree with Gary, though. It flips depending on Texas, and since I have us losing to Texas, I think we win.
Oh, I think we're going to smoke them. I truly think we're going to smoke these guys, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
I could see Kentucky getting 8 or 9 wins this year.
If I were guessing today, I'd say 6. Anyone else? October 24th, the next week, on to Starksville, Mississippi, to take on our former offensive corner, Jeff Levy, and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I think it's going to be a win. What's that?
Yeah.
I agree with that win.
Jeff Levy's got some good things going on down there, but yeah, I think this one's a cakewalk. That puts me at 5-2.
Jeff Levy, does he have any thoughts on this OU team, on how to stop him, or is this a completely different team than whenever he was here?
It's a 1,000% different team than when
Yeah.
he was here, and he has so little ties here, even though he coached here,
Right.
because he was so short. Yeah.
All right. Then the next week, South Carolina comes back to Oklahoma. We played them 3. This will be the 3rd year in a row. Just going to tell you right here now, I'm not a South Carolina fan. We sat in those stands a few years back. That was a bad game. I think what was the quarterback's
Michael
name?
Hawkins.
Michael Hawkins just turned the ball over left and right at the very beginning. It was over before it really even started, it felt like. And the fans were I say, because we were sitting there next to their fans. Hey, rightfully so for them to be excited about it. That's great. But they were acting as if they're just way better than OU, and they're not. And we beat them again last year. We beat them last year, so we return the favor. Shane Beamer, I think he's the coach that's on the hot seat of all coaches in the SEC right now, and I just think we're gonna beat up on these guys pretty good. Anyway.
Yeah, I think everyone's overly high on their quarterback. Always has been. Similar, just because he is a good athlete, cannot throw a ball worth a darn. They do have, in my opinion, a top 3 defensive player in the country, but that one guy can only do so much, and so I think they had a better team last year, and we played them away, and we're back home, and I think we're better. So I think this one's not even close.
Yeah, I think it'll. I think we're not even going to be worried about this game. It's whatever.
No matter how bad the season, if it goes bad, I think we'll still be pretty confident about this one.
Yeah.
The next game I'm intrigued about, excited about, is going to Florida on November 7th and going to the Swamp. Early November, new coaching staff in Florida as well. I think it's going to be a pretty cool atmosphere. That's one of the games if I could go to a road game this year, non-Texas, I'd probably rather go to that one than even go to the Georgia game, because I think in Georgia I would be pretty ticked. But this game I think would be a fun game to go to. I would expect OU to walk out of there with a victory. But then again, this is a new coaching staff there in Florida.
I agree. For me, that continues a 5-game win streak, starting with that Texas game. I agree with the win.
Yeah, I'll say win. Also, we're lucky to be playing them there in their coach's first year, compared to letting him get a few years under his belt to really build something. But I agree. I think we'll get the win in the Swamp.
Yeah, it'll be a win. It'll probably look pretty good.
No, I don't know anything about Florida, so I'm going to say win. I don't know.
There's not much to know, honestly. They're pretty bland this year.
They are. They used to be really, really good back in the Spurrier days and then Urban Meyer days. They were a really good football team, and they've taken on a hard hit since that time frame, unfortunately. Here's the game on November 14th. It's a home game against Ole Miss. Garrett was talking a little bit about he thinks the Kentucky game. This is the game that I think I would think we would have a little bit more of trouble with, in my opinion. I think Ole Miss, they're bringing back a lot of different players. I know Lane Kiffin is no longer around. You got a lot of the same coaches are still there. And then what's the quarterback's name that's staying? Trinidad Chambliss, right? I think that's going to be a tough game. I could see this being the game that we drop. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I had us losing this one as well.
I think we get this one, but yeah, you can't look past. I think they have the best quarterback in the country, in my opinion. I think they have the best running back in the country, in my opinion. They did lose quite a bit defensively to LSU. That's where they lost the most, of their star power. But I think we played them pretty dang good last year for where we were at. They were the much better team, and we played them pretty good. Got down to the wire, and this one being at home is going to be huge. I like our chances in this one. I think Brent Venables is just going to outclass and outcoach Pete Golding and just kind of show the different caliber of a coach he is.
I agree. I think last year it was Lane Kiffin was the difference that beat us and beat Venables. But I think without him, I think we're going to make Trinidad wish he would have gone pro and really kind of embarrass him out there.
It's a good point, too, because I remember last year, I think I predicted us to lose specifically because Brent Venables genuinely, the only time he struggles is whenever he plays an offensive coordinator, like one of the best offensive coordinators in the country. For some reason, he's never able to win that matchup. But anybody else, he'll hand it to him. But for some reason, when he's got an offensive coordinator on the other side that, is regarded as one of the best, that's when he struggles.
And then the next game, November 21st, the Saturday before Thanksgiving, Texas A&M comes back into town. It's been a while since they played here. I know the last time I think we played A&M was when a bowl game with Johnny Manziel, and they beat the ever-living snot out of us. We've had some really good games against them in the previous years when they were in the Big 12. I know going to A&M is a very tough place to play. Luckily, this game's in Norman. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I would expect Oklahoma to win this thing. I still think I think A&M may have the right coach this year. He was there last year too, but I think they may have the right guy. But other than that, what are your all's thoughts?
I have us dropping this one, putting us at a 7-4
Wow.
record overall.
I have us losing this as well.
They had the easiest schedule in the SEC last year.
Did they?
And still didn't make the SEC Conference Championship. So I'm going to say they're going to kind of be like the LSU of this year and start falling apart.
I think we'll lose. I think we'll have been on a 5-game win streak, riding well, but this is one we'll drop, and it'll be getting us all nervous about our potential playoff spot. So I think it'll be a tough game.
The biggest thing that sucks about this game is the fact that it's a noon or 1 p.m. start time. There's no reason this should not be a night game. Because ideally, with hopefully how our schedule goes, and especially with them having another easy year on their end, this is going to be a game that is going to have huge playoff implications. But anyways, I think they do have the head coach. I think their quarterback is solid. Their defense is solid. But this is one, the home field advantage, I think is going to pull us through, and I think we'll end up winning a very close one, a very low-scoring one as well. I think it's just going to be a really rough game on both sides, and we end up pulling it out.
I expect a W. I think I said that earlier. Last game of the season, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Oklahoma at Missouri. Not a fan of Missouri Tigers. Eli Drinkwitz, and it's coming into his 7th season. The old Big 12 rivalry once again being played. I expect an Oklahoma win. I expect, as of right now, on August 11th, I expect a 9-3 season for Oklahoma. What are your all's thoughts?
I expect a cakewalk of a win for Oklahoma because Mizzou has not a single player besides their running back, who we absolutely made look silly last year. They have nobody. Coaching staff on the player side, nobody to worry about. I think we absolutely smoke and get sent on our way on a 10-2 season.
Remember when you guys called me a clown last year for predicting 10-2?
Okay, that
we
was
did it.
different.
No, we
Way
did.
different.
Either way, I think we put Mizzou in the ground, embarrass them as per usual, and I have us at 9-3. I hope we're 10-2, but we'll see.
I agree with the win. For me, that puts us at 8-4.
Have us winning 10-2.
No kidding. Okay. Would 9-3 season after last year's success be would it leave a bad taste in a lot of OU fans' mouths if they did that?
Yep.
You think so?
Yeah, we're still Oklahoma.
And for where we're supposed to be, and who Mateer is supposed to be, and who Arbuckle is supposed to be, you're expecting to beat, honestly, 2 out of it. Like Georgia, Texas, and A&M. You should beat 2 of them, but you got to beat at least one of those and win all the games you're supposed to win. So for where we want to be and should be, we should be at least 10-2.
Gannon, let me ask you this. Let's say OU goes into the OU-Texas game 4-0. How big of a game is that then? It's a big game anyway, but how, fired up is everybody going to be?
I was going to say it'd be the biggest game of the year, probably, season-wide for the whole nation. So I think a huge game.
Big implications, wouldn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, if both teams go into that game undefeated, it's undoubtedly number 1 and 2 in the country.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
I think it'd be the best marketed game. You would hear about it everywhere.
Yeah.
We'd only know for a week, probably, right? You'd think it's a playoff game in the middle of the season with how big of a deal it'd be.
Yeah.
Texas has a tough schedule, so it'd be crazy for them to be undefeated.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, is they would, well, not necessarily. It's really just Ohio State. Tennessee's nothing to worry about. But they're already going to be top 5 ranked come week 0. So they win a game against Ohio State, and then Tennessee's, they're solid, so that'll help. And I think, if anything, the media will just do it to get them up there. And then for us, I expect us to probably start top 12, maybe top 10, and then you go beat a Michigan, a Georgia. That should put you up there.
Any thoughts, Banch, on that?
Yeah, if it's OU Texas undefeated,
I don't know when's the last time that happened.
pretty stinking awesome.
Like
Both
3
of them
years
going
ago.
into it. Would you rather that OU Texas game be moved to the Saturday after Thanksgiving? Or are you good where it is?
Oh, heck no, it's got to be during the state fair.
Who cares? I couldn't give two rips about the state fair in Texas.
I always know it's around Mom's birthday if it's OU Texas, so
I know,
that would really
yeah.
confuse me if it wasn't.
I do wish it was at night, though. I do wish it was a night game.
Me personally, I know everybody talks about the Dallas fair in Dallas area. I personally wish it went to Austin and Norman every other year. That's just me. I don't give two rips at all about that city of Dallas except for the Cowboys. Other than that, don't care a bit about them. I'd like the money to be here in Oklahoma and Norman being spent. That's just me, though. Well, the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, I'd like to thank all of our listeners for tuning in this evening to this wonderful podcast, as you can see. Hopefully everybody will stay safe out there and remember to stay savage and not average. And until next time, goodbye, everybody.